Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. I am your hostess with the mostest, BigAL Bettor, joined as always by my boy, MattyBets. Matt, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Just got done watching Thursday Night Football, like we always do. Trying to get this video out to you guys as soon as possible. Want to go over the whole Sunday slate of games. Excited about it, man. We're on week 11. The season's just kind of flying by. We got, the playoff picture is kind of taking its rightful shape now. So we kind of know the
Mm-hmm.
pretenders, the contenders. So we'll see like what teams can make a final push to actually try to make the wild card, which ones will actually solidify themselves in the divisions, and then see who's actually going to be, getting a shot to hoist that Lombardi Trophy here in February.
Absolutely, absolutely. Guys, if you are new to the channel, the way we do the Sunday slate of games, Matt comes with 5 games, I come with 5 games, over, under, and spreads. We don't tell each other what we're picking. We come together, we agree on 3 of them. Those are our locks of the week we give out to you guys. So far in the season for locks of the week, we are 17, 12, and 1, so we're pretty profitable. We just had a 3-0 week, which is pretty awesome. We've gone 2-1 most of the weeks. We've had a couple 1-2 weeks. And then after we get through that, which is usually the bulk of the video, then we go into our parlays. We have a touchdown scorer parlay and a prop bet parlay for the week across all the players, all the games, yada yada. And then the final thing we do is we give you guys out 6 picks, 6-point teasers. I just hit my teaser last week. I've hit 4 of 6 so far because we didn't start doing them until week 5 or week 4, whichever one that is, whatever the math adds up to. But I've hit 4 of my last 6. Matt has hit 2. Matt, you've hit 2?
Yeah, I think I've only hit the 2. So we got to pick it up. We got to pick
Okay.
up the pace a little bit, kind of lagging behind a little bit, but I'm a little bit newer to teasers than you might be. So, like spreads, over unders, stuff like that, it's still kind of, it's not really new to me, but it's still fresh, like gambling on them and stuff like that. Kind of just the straight money bets. There we go.
Yeah, Matt refuses to bet things straight up. He thinks parlaying things and getting 1,000 to 1 odds is the way to make money as a gambler. And I keep trying to tell him, hey, bro, did you just bet the straight, it would have hit, bet the straight, it would have hit. He's like, oh no, I put it with the over under on some guy or some. I put it with a guy to get 100+ yards. It's like, okay, well, if you would have just bet it straight, you would have won money. So, but Matt, you're learning.
We're trying to grow, we're trying to evolve, we're trying to, increase the bag, increase the brain. So, all these things, they take
Absolutely.
time. Doesn't happen overnight. So, it's one step at a time, and we're on our way, and we've been beating the book all year. So just got to keep doing it.
Correct. Hopefully you guys have been tailing us. If you have been tailing us, you've been making some money. Matt, are you ready to hop into these locks of the week here?
Yes, sir. As long as you are, I'm
Okay.
I'm ready to
Do you
jump in.
want
I'll
do you want
start
to
off.
you want to start?
Oh yeah, I'll start.
Okay.
All right, cool. Let's jump into it. Sunday, week 11. Exciting stuff
Yes.
going on now. First game we're taking here, we're taking the Rams at the Patriots. We're doing Rams -4.5. Patriots have not looked great, and I think the Rams are just a different caliber team here. So I like the Rams at 4.5, -4.5 on the road. Especially with Puka back, he shouldn't be ejected in this game, so we should be fine there. Lions at the Jags. Now, the line for this game is insane, in my opinion. It's set at 14, which I just think is way too many points on either side of the ball. So I'm going with the over on this game. It's set at 46.5. I love the over here at 46.5. Lions, we've seen them beat teams and blow them out of the water, but if they do, they're scoring like 45. So I like the Lions. Maybe the Jags can get a couple touchdowns here and there. Like the Jags haven't looked awful, but I mean they should be able to score a couple of touchdowns on the Lions. Next, we're going Packers at Bears. We're taking the over in that game, over 40.5. We've seen the Bears struggle. I think that they're going to kind of try to piece whatever they have left in that offense, uh, and hopefully be able to score a little bit. I like the Packers to blow them out, though. The Packers they win in Chicago. That's what they do. So I don't think that really stops here. And then we're going to go Browns at Saints. We're going to take the Saints -1.5. I
Mm,
still do not like the Browns offense. The Browns have a good defense, but I like the Saints to be able to outpower them, and they're at home. So give me the 1.5 points there, the -1.5. That's fine by me. And then my last pick for this is going to be Ravens at Steelers, and we're just taking the Ravens -3. Pretty cut and dry. Ravens are one of the best teams in the AFC, one of the best teams in the NFL. So I like the Ravens here at the Steelers. I think this will be an embarrassing game for the Steelers, honestly, but I'll just take the -3 of the Ravens on the road.
hmm.
And there you go. There are my
Okay.
picks. I kind of followed you a little bit because you were telling me, hey, you got to start doing over-unders as opposed to just the
Mm-hmm.
spreads. You've been telling me that for a couple weeks now. So I was like, you know what? Let's splash a couple of these over-unders in here and see what happens and see if you agree with me on a couple of them. I thought I'd take a couple of the games that you would too. So I'm excited to see what you have for me.
You did say that at the end of last week's video too. You're like, yeah, I should probably start throwing some over unders into my teaser because he's like, you keep throwing them in and I keep hitting, and then you were like, maybe I need to start doing that. And I was like, yeah, there's more than just spreads out there,
Yeah,
but
exactly. Like I said, we're still a little bit of a baby when it comes to this kind of stuff, but we're learning
if you
as we're
guys
going.
if you guys like the Saints, Matt's got the Saints -1.5, right? That's what you said.
Yeah.
It's +1 on DraftKings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
So if you are into the Saints, DraftKings might be the better place. It's there now. I don't know if it'll still be there tomorrow or the next day or by the time
Over
kickoff
the
happens.
weekend, yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll just start it like we always do. If we agree on one, or then we lock it in instantly because we don't even need to talk about it. So I also have the Rams -4.5. I think coming
Yes.
off a loss, McVay, Stafford, the boys, they kind of got embarrassed and couldn't do anything against the Dolphins. So I think that I think they're gonna come in and just dominate. And they're playing the Patriots, right?
Hmm.
Like that team sucks. So I like it. And then I also have Packers Bears over.
Yeah, see, I knew I'd get one of them. I knew if I threw in an over-under at some point, it would be the same one that you had. So, like that, shout out to the Packers and the Bears. Let's have a great game. Let's have the Packers beat them by 14 or 20 like they always do. Let's get up to 60 points. Easy money right there.
Right. The Packers have been beating teams. Like we've only lost 3 games all season, and Jordan Love missed a bunch of games. We lost the first game to the Eagles, we lost to the Lions, and then I forget. Oh, we lost to the Vikings, and it was Jordan Love's first game back. So we only really lose to good teams,
You guys lose
and
to
it's
teams that you
fine.
should.
Vikings, Lions, and Eagles all have great records right now. So, but the Bears do not have a good record. But we've let every team pretty much score on us. I say us because I'm a Packers fan. If you guys are new to the channel, but so the Bears should get to 14 points, and the Packers should win this thing going away. So I think what's it set at 46.5?
I don't know what book you're playing, but over on FanDuel, you're getting it at 40.5.
Okay, that might
Because
be
the Bears'
what.
offense has been terrible.
Yeah, 40.5, 40.5. Yep. It seems
Hmm.
too low, and the
It
Packers are
does.
coming off a bye, so they're going to be more healthy. And LaFleur's had 2 weeks to look at the Bears and find weaknesses. I think it's a no-brainer.
And it's pretty much like it's a boosted home game for the Packers because they just love playing in Chicago.
We own you. Yeah.
Exactly, and they still
Okay.
do.
So let me jump into my other 3 that are not on your list, and then we'll have to pick one of the 3 you brought and the 3 I brought. So
Okay,
I am on the opposite side of you with the Ravens game. I am on the Steelers +3.5.
that's stupid.
All the games between the Steelers and Ravens have been since the Lamar era started have been very close, and Tomlin tends to have Lamar's number as well. So I like the Steelers +3.5 there. Steelers are coming off, like, once again, you get Tomlin as a dog. He's the most profitable coach in the league against the spread when he's a dog, and he gets +3.5. And I think it's in Pittsburgh, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
He's a home dog, and like we're acting like the Steelers aren't good. They're leading the division. Like they lead that division. So anyway, I like the Steelers +3.5. Then I have the Broncos -2 playing the Falcons in Denver, coming off a loss to the Chiefs. I don't see how Atlanta, who couldn't beat the Saints, can beat the Broncos with that defense and that team wanting revenge. And their defense hasn't been able to get much pressure, so Bo Nix is not going to get sacked in this game. He's going to have a pretty clean pocket and be able to deal. So I like the Broncos -2. And then my final pick is one I've kind of been riding all season, and I didn't think they would cover last week, and they still hit the number. It's Vikings-Titans, the over. The Titans have gone over 37 in every single game this season, and this total is set at 39 or 39.5.
It's 39 and a
So
half.
yeah, 39.5. So you get a Vikings team. I was worried because it was the Chargers, and I was like, the Chargers are going to shut the Titans down. Titans aren't going to score. Chargers don't score a ton of points. Well, they got to 44 points. It was 27-17. The Titans still got to 17. So if they could do that against the Chargers defense, which I think is better than the Vikings defense, I think, one, the Vikings will bounce back from that Jaguars game and actually score points against the Titans. And I think the Titans will get to 14 or 17 again. So 39.5 feels too low. And like I said, the Titans have gotten to 37 in every single game. So they just need one extra field goal to cover this number. So I like that number.
Okay. I will say right off the bat, um, I do like that Vikings and Titans over. That was another one that
Okay.
I wrote down. So, um, if you're cool with that, I'll take that. I'm not switching my beliefs on the Ravens and Steelers, and then I also just
Obviously.
I have too much faith in Kirk Cousins and the Falcons to be able to pull that game off. So and pull the win off.
Really?
I it's just it's kind of flip a coin with Kirk Cousins this year, where it's been like he's looked great, and then if the game comes down to 2 minutes left and they're down by, let's just say, 2 points, they're gonna get their field goal, and if they're down by a touchdown, like 9 times out of 10, he's gonna carry them to the promised land and get a touchdown. So I'm fine with just taking the Vikings and Titans over for the same reasons that you mentioned. Is like, yeah, like you said all years, the Titans, their games get over almost every time, and the book keeps fading that over because and having the over under set way too low because of how many points
Mhm.
they do score every single time that they play.
Their over has been, I think, every single week, it's been right around 40, if not lower than 40. And I'm always like, they're getting to 37 every single week, regardless of who they play, because they played some good teams, they played some bad teams. Like they played the Dolphins and it was still at 40 because the Dolphins didn't have a quarterback. And then the Titans scored like 38 in that game by themselves. And the Dolphins got 10 and we got the over. And it was like, that was back in week 4 or 5. And so I don't know. It's just, I don't know what it is that, because I think the book is like, the Titans offense isn't good. And it's like they're not, but their defense is close to top 10 in both categories. So they take the ball away and then they get in good field position. Tony Pollard is having a great year, even though like Levis sucks. And so they're just able to randomly score points. And then next thing you know, they get 14 and the other team wins and by 15 points and you get the over. So, all right, we'll pencil that in, I guess. Like, I mean, like I said, they've gotten to 37 every single week. And this thing, we just need an extra field goal. And the Vikings are coming off a terrible game. So I expect them to come in and, really score a bunch of points.
Oh, for sure. I see it being a big offensive day for the Vikings. So I don't care what the Titans do. I think the Vikings will get well over half this over. So
And I think the Vikings are favored by like 7, aren't they? 6 or 7? Yeah, six
probably.
points on draft.
Hmm.
So you're going to give me 6. So they think it's going to be a 6-point game. So you take the Titans to get, 14 or 17. That means that the Vikings have to get 23.
Yep.
And that's your cover and that's your over. And I liked it. So okay, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's our locks of the week. We have the Rams minus 4.5 against the Patriots. We have the Packers Bears over, and then we're taking the Vikings Titans over. Packers Bears is at 40.5, right?
Packers and Bears 40.5. Yes.
And then Vikings Titans is 39.5, at least on DraftKings.
Yep. Same over here too on FanDuel.
Okay. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Coming off a 3-0 week, we're 17-12-1 on the year. So let's have another perfect week and keep the streak rolling, keep the money printer printing. With that being said, let's hop into these parlays, Matt. Do you want me to go first since you normally do?
Yeah. Go ahead. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's start with touchdown scores. I feel like that's just a classic. People love touchdown scores. We love touchdown scores. Matt loves touchdown scores.
I do
So
indeed.
it'll be interesting to see if we have a couple of the same ones again. So this week I've got Josh Jacobs coming off a bye, playing the Bears. I think he'll find the end zone. I've got Justin Jefferson. He's had kind of a lull in touchdown scoring, and they're coming off a bad week, so I think he has a huge week this week. I've got Cooper Kupp coming off. He didn't have one last week, so I think he'll pick it up, and they're playing the Patriots, who aren't that great. Then I got Jonathan Taylor against that Jets defense that I don't trust. I've got George Kittle just because he's been super consistent so far this year. And I think with Christian McCaffrey coming back, we saw him still score a touchdown even with McCaffrey back. So I like him against the Seahawks. He tends to have big games against Seattle anyway. And then the last pick I have is Kareem Hunt taking on the Bills. I think they'll get him the ball. I think they're going to try to run the rock a lot. So I like Kareem Hunt as well. That is 6 touchdown scores. That thing pays plus 67.79 over on draft.
Okay. Nice. I like that. I will say one of the weird things is I only have one of your same touchdown scorers. And also,
Mm-hmm.
I actually did something that you did when we were talking about it 2 weeks ago. I think it was. I think it was
Really?
2 weeks ago, and I totally forgot that George Kittle was playing Seattle, and totally forgot that George Kittle was even an option to take. So, yeah, that's a little on me, but I'll jump into mine. I mean, like I said, we only have
Okay.
one that's the same one. We'll start off with that one. We got Jonathan Taylor versus the Jets. The Jets run defense. Their defense in general hasn't been as good as people thought. And with Richardson back in the lineup, it just opens up the door for Taylor to have a big game. So I like that. Next, we're going DeAndre Swift against the Packers. As we know, the Packers have cleaned up their run defense a little bit, but I still like DeAndre Swift. He's had a good year this year, even though the Bears have struggled. I still like DeAndre Swift to have a big game here against the Packers. Then Kyron Williams versus the Patriots. Like you said, not much more to say about that. Patriots aren't that good of a team. Kyron Williams is the bell cow there for the Rams. Then we got Nick Chubb versus the Saints. Don't like the Browns offense, but I do still like Nick Chubb a lot. So I like him to get in the end zone there. Then we got Tony Pollard. Like we said, he's had a great year so far. He is playing against the Vikings, so it'll be a tough task. But I still do like we said, they're probably going to score 2 touchdowns. The Titans will. So, I mean, get with one of those, Tony Pollard. I'd take him over anybody else on that team to get a touchdown. And then last, we're going Tyreek Hill versus the Raiders. I mean, that's just kind of a no-brainer. Dolphins are all the way back. Offense is back, too. It looks good. I like Tyreek Hill to get a touchdown, too. And that pays out plus 52.99.
And that is over on
FanDuel.
Mm-hmm. We're not sponsored by any sportsbook.
No, we are not.
Yet. Okay, so let's. I like that. The Pollard one, I thought about taking Pollard too. I just didn't want to trust it against that Vikings defense that I know is good. And then I don't know. I haven't been following Nick Chubb too much. I don't know how his year has been since he came back, so I didn't want to throw him in.
I know his first game back, he got a touchdown. I haven't really been keeping big tabs on him just because I don't really follow anything that has to do with the Browns. But I mean, it's still Nick Chubb. It's still the guy, and I don't think the Saints' defense is the best. I'm not going to say it's bad because I don't know. I haven't looked at their defensive stats and like deep dove into that. So
Deep dove.
Yeah, exactly. But I do like that game to just kind of be like taste. It'll be a weird game, I think, where Chubb will have a touchdown, maybe 2. Then they'll have like I don't know, the Saints quarter, like Derek Carr will get a touchdown for some reason. He'll run one in. You'll have Taysom Hill get a touchdown. I think it's just going to be a weird game. But I do like Nick Chubb to get in the end zone there.
Okay. You have 5 running backs.
So, yes. The only receiver that I have is Tyreek Hill, which, I mean, is the only receiver to have. Because, like, we know, like, so my only issue with yours would be the, which one did you take?
Kareem Hunt.
No, it was a receiver for, you took Jefferson.
Yeah.
Which obviously we know Jefferson's one of the best receivers in the league, but he's playing against the Titans, and like you said earlier, like that Titans secondary is pretty good.
They are pretty good.
So I didn't really want to take him. I didn't really want to take him. Like he was obviously the other option, where it's like kind of a no-brainer because Justin Jefferson doesn't really matter what defense he's facing, but at the same time too, I mean, if they shadow him or double cover him, I mean, he could still eat and have 120 yards, but. I mean, they might be able to cover him in the end zone. So I like that. Just to go with Tony Pollard instead, because I don't think that the Titans won't score anything. Like you've said, they've been scoring points. It's not like their offense is bad, but it's not like they're I don't know. They're not like other teams that we've seen where they just can't do anything. It's like for some reason they still are scoring up to 14 points almost every week. So.
Well, and I'll even say this. So, like, their head coach he's the offensive coordinator from the Bengals who moved over and took the job. And his dad was the O-line coach for the Browns.
Okay.
And they had a great O-line last year. That's why they were able to protect him. That's why Flacco came in and had such success. Well, when his son got the head coaching job with the Titans, he moved over to be the O-line coach for the Titans. So they run the ball really well because that O-line is like, he's a great O-line coach. And so, like, their quarterbacks don't really get tons of pressure. It's just Will Levis has screwed them so much. That's why their record's bad. But, like, as far as, like, the front O-line, it's actually really good. That's why Pollard's had a great year, and that's why, like, when they put in who'd they put in? Was it Trubisky or was it
it was Rudolph. Or
he was able to actually, right?
Yeah, is Mac Jones on the Jags?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then it was Rudolph.
Yeah, so it was Mason Rudolph. The reason that Mason Rudolph even was able to have some success was because the O-line actually protects really well. And so, that's why Pollard had such a good year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the Browns have struggled offensively more so this year because they don't have that guy as their O-line coach.
Yeah, and Pollard struggled last year. Like, we were high on him last year, too. Or at least I was going into last season just because he was the bell cow.
Dallas.
Yeah, he was the bell cow guy there, but he had broken his leg the year before. And it usually takes about a year for that to fully heal and you fully feel like yourself again. So it's just for Tony Pollard, it's awesome to see him succeeding in a different place where it's like, yeah, the O line's better and he's also feeling better and he's back to full strength. So yeah, it's kind of the perfect storm for Tony Pollard this year, which is awesome. Good for him. He got
Sure.
paid, got to go to a different team, like new scenery. Just sucks that your team sucks, but you're still killing it. So keep doing it and get in the end zone this week.
Right. All right, let's
Mhm.
chop into these prop parlays, Matt. Do you want to go first? Or you want me to?
I'll go first on this one. You're not gonna like this first pick that I have, but I'm okay with it.
Here we go.
It was
Here we
his
go.
numbers were really low, and I think we know why. It's because the team sucked, but it was too low to not take. I mean, you're almost getting plus money on 175 passing yards for Caleb Williams. So we're taking Caleb
Oh
Williams,
God.
175 plus passing yards versus the Packers. Next, we got Jamison Williams, 40 plus receiving yards versus the Jags. Jags defense is not anything to be too excited about, so I like Jamison Williams there. Lions should blow them out of the water. Next, we got Justin Jefferson. Like I said, playing against the Titans. Don't like him for a touchdown, but I do like him for 80 plus yards. Then we got Kyren Williams, 100 plus rushing and receiving yards versus the Patriots. He should have a field day there. The whole offense for the Rams should have a great game. Then we got Jonathan Taylor, 80 plus rushing yards versus the Jets. Love that. Could have taken him rushing and receiving. Decided, hey, we're just going straight rushing. Richardson's back, like I said earlier. He should have a big game against this Jets team. I think it'll be a big game for him and also for Brees Hall. But in a parlay, you can only take one. So we're taking Jonathan Taylor there. Then we got Christian McCaffrey, 100 plus rushing and receiving yards versus Seattle. And then that pays out plus 2,500.
Plus 2,500.
Yep. So a little 25 times your unit.
So Caleb Williams 175, Jamison Williams 40 plus receiving, Justin Jefferson 80 plus receiving, Kyron 100 plus rushing and receiving, Jonathan Taylor 80 plus just straight rush, and then C-Mac 100 plus rushing and receiving.
Yep. The C-Mac's back. I have a freaking weird feeling that the Niners are going to still win that division and they're just going to come all the way back. They're just going to go on a winning streak.
I hope not, because I still have that ticket for the Rams, so I really hope the Rams come through and win that thing. I don't hate it. I mean, I think we're going to pick Caleb Williams off like 3 times.
Yeah, but that's fine. It means I think he's going to be in a hole and he's going to have to try to dig himself out of it. It will be to no avail, but I still think it'll be. I mean, he's going to throw for 175, right? Like, it's so low. You're almost getting plus money on it. I had to take it. When you get a discount like that on a player that's been really bad the past couple weeks, but you've seen his potential and you've seen the ceiling, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, maybe he can actually do it this week. That's kind of what we're riding here, but it's also like 175 yards is nothing, dude. Like, if Jamar Chase can get 260 receiving, like, you can throw it for 175, right?
Remember week one we took we saw that he threw for less than 100 yards in his debut, and then the next week I took him against the Texans in Sunday Night Football, and I took the under on his yards for passing, and he didn't get to 200.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I mean, we'll see.
So,
like, I like Caleb Williams at 175 though. Like, I could have taken him for 200 and gotten like plus 100, plus 200, and I was like, dude, I'm not doing that. Like, that just seems stupid. But I think 175 is perfect. I think it's a perfect number for him. He's not a great quarterback yet, so we'll see. And it's against the Packers too. Like, I mean, if the get right game is against the Packers, I mean, honestly, division opponent. Your team's still not out of the race. It kind of is because of how good the division is. But I mean, the Bears still have a chance.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. They still have a chance.
No, their season's over, just like we knew.
If they win this game,
they're not even.
They're not
going to get
over.
to 8 wins. They're not getting to 8 wins, and they're not going to win this game. So
they need to get to more than 8 wins.
75 for your parlay.
They need to get to more than 8 wins, but
because I think their line was 8.5. Isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, they need way more than 8 wins for the playoffs.
I know, but I'm just saying I took the under on their wins for the season, so they're not going to.
What were you asking me?
I feel very comfortable. I was saying, was the line 7.5 or 8.5 for their wins total for the season at the beginning?
I think it was probably 8.5 because the book was really high on them.
Yeah, I hope it's 8.5 because if it was 7.5 now, they got this. I mean, they still only have 4 wins, so I've got time. But all right, I'm gonna hop into mine real quick. For my prop parlay, it pays a little bit more than yours does. So I have T.J. Hawkinson, 50 plus receiving yards. He tied Justin Jefferson in targets last week, so I think Sam Darnold's really looking his way, so I like that. I got DJ Moore, under 46 receiving yards. It's his line straight up. I don't trust him. He's been bad the last couple weeks, and I don't trust Caleb Williams against this Packers defense coming off a bye. I think they're going to be able to mess with him. So I like under for DJ Moore. I like Kyren Williams, 100 plus rushing receiving, just like Matt. I like Lamar Jackson, 40+ rushing. He hasn't done it the last 2 weeks, so he's primed to do it now. I like Christian McCaffrey, 125+ rushing and receiving against the Seahawks. And then my final pick is Garrett Wilson, 60+ receiving yards. He's done that in 3 of the 4 games since Devontae joined the team. The only time he didn't do it was just last week. This thing pays out plus 4,200 on DraftKings, so I really like it.
Okay, you said you had C-Mac for 100 plus?
125+.
Oh, you went 125. Bored.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a massive game. The Seahawks suck.
Yeah, no, for sure. I could see that happening. I'm not 100% sure that 125 happens, but yeah, I think he'll have a big game too. And then the Garrett Wilson play, that's a really good play in my opinion, especially against the Colts when our secondary, like, it has times where it's good, but at the same time, everybody can throw on us. So,
Dude, I don't know what it is. I don't think I've put Breece Hall in my prop parlay all year. If I did, it was like week 2. I love Breece Hall, but I don't think he's been that good this year. And maybe I'm wrong, but the vibe I get when I watch Jets games and stuff, it's like I don't feel like Breece Hall breaks out and has huge games. So I would much rather trust Garrett Wilson, who now has Devontae taking up attention on the other side to get the 60 receiving yards, than take like Breece Hall for 60 or 70 or 80 yards, or even 100+ rushing and receiving like I would take for all these other stud running backs.
yeah, I am surprised that you didn't have Taylor in there instead, but I get your idea with Garrett Wilson.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, he's hit that number in all but last week's game. And last week they were just terrible against Arizona.
Yeah, I will say one thing that I want to give a shout out to the books is they actually do have Taylor up there for a lot of yards. Like, for him to get 100 plus rushing and receiving, it's actually minus money. So shout out to the book for that. Noticing that, hey, this is a bad matchup, and Taylor's been killing it this year, the games that he has played. So,
Right.
But
right. All right.
nice.
Let's hop into the teasers, Matt.
All right, pretty straightforward for me. You guys know how I do mine. If it's your first time on the channel, I keep it simple. I take my locks, the picks that I bring for the locks of the week, I turn those into a teaser. That's what I do, just because I already love the lines and how they are. So obviously, locks of the week are different because you aren't getting the extra 6 points. But I love all these picks, so I take one extra one, throw it in there, and then that's my teaser, and I get 6 points either direction of what I'm betting. So first off, we're going Rams. Instead of -4.5, we're taking them at +1.5. Love that. I think they're gonna. I do not see them losing this game. If they do, then the Rams season is over. Next, we got the Lions. We're taking the over, Lions and Jags, and we're taking over 40.5 points, which I think is easily gettable for that game. Then we got Packers at Bears. Over under on that 34.5. It's insane. 34.5 points. Like, they're gonna get to that number pretty easily, in my opinion. Then Browns at Saints. We got the Saints, and we're getting +4.5. Easy money right there. And then Ravens at Steelers +3.5. We're getting the field goal now, so they could lose by 3. We still win. Love that little like switcheroo there for what the line actually is set. And then we got Vikings at Titans over 33.5 points. And like
That's
you said,
crazy.
they've hit 37. I mean, every single game.
Single freaking week. So if they lose this week, that is the ultimate of bad beats, because they have covered this number every single week. And like I said, I was going to take them last week because they were at 30, 38 was their number. So teased down to 31 would have been a hit. And I almost did it, but then I didn't throw them in the teaser. Luckily, my teaser still hit. But I was like, I don't trust it because the Chargers are too good on defense, and then they still hit it. So, okay, Matt, I like it, dude.
Yep. Hey, we're playing the over-unders, and I actually feel really good about it too. I'm really stoked to watch the games on Sunday, cash this thing in, kind of try to catch up to you.
I will say the only one in there that scares me on yours is that Ravens pick.
Yeah, it doesn't scare me at all. The Steelers aren't going to beat them by that many points.
I mean, you were willing to take Ravens -3 just straight up.
Yeah.
So clearly it does not scare you.
No. Ravens are a different team, dude. Like, okay, and like, you said something earlier, and I wanted to challenge you on it, and you said like,
here we go.
Tomlin has
this isn't undisputed.
Lamar's. Yeah, well, you said that Tomlin has Lamar's number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tomlin doesn't have Derrick Henry's number. Sorry, that nobody does. You can't stop him. Okay. You can't beat him, and that's my thing. And like, TJ Watt isn't going to be stopping Derrick Henry because TJ Watt's coming off the edge. Derrick Henry's going down the middle. So, and if they're doing any outside runs or outside zone reads or whatever, it's going to be away from TJ Watt. It's going to be because Harbaugh's too good of a coach to not.
The only thing I'll say to counter that is everybody praises the Ravens for having the best run defense in the league, right?
Yeah.
Steelers are 4th. So
Yeah, that's fine.
good
But
luck.
guess who has the best O-line? The
Good luck.
best running O-line? It's
Good
the
luck.
Ravens.
I don't think it is.
It is. At least it
don't think
was
that-
coming into the season. I'm not sure if maybe during the season it's changed. But then again, they have Derrick Henry has the most yards in the league, so they probably are.
Yeah, none of us are arguing that they can run the ball. They have a great running game.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's one thing to run up against, all these wishy-washy teams like the Bengals who have no defense. It's another entirely to run against a Steelers team that is like, we're not letting you run the ball.
That's
Lamar
true.
has to throw.
I will say one matchup for this game that's going to be fun to watch if it ever happens. It most likely will a couple times, but play action is going to be crazy when you have TJ Watt coming off the edge trying to get to Lamar, and then you have play action Derrick Henry freaking just slams into TJ Watt and just throws him on the ground. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch because TJ Watt's going to have that last line of defense, and it'll be probably, I mean, you might argue with me on this one. You probably won't, though. The best run blocker, the best extra blocker running back in the league, just because of how big he is and how strong he is.
Sure.
So I like that matchup a lot, and I think we'll see it a couple times when it's play action or an option read or something like that. And he'll get clipped or something by.
I can't wait to
Derrick
see
Henry.
Lamar get out of the pocket and try to scramble, and then you got TJ Watt actually being able to use some of his sprinting athleticism to try to catch him. That's going to be kind of fun if that ever
Oh, for
comes.
sure.
Comes
I
to
don't.
fruition. But I
I
think
don't see Lamar running
Lamar's
for a lot of yards.
Lamar's gonna run the other way.
Yes, for sure.
He's
He'll be
gonna
running the other
He's
side.
going left. He's going left, baby. Okay. All right. Let me hop into my teaser. Like I said, guys, at the beginning, I've hit 4 of 6 so far on the season, so I've been kind of hot. But so for this week, I got the Chiefs. I teased them from a +2 to a +8. We get over a touchdown on the only undefeated team left. I've got the Broncos teased from a -2 to a +4. I've got the Steelers teased from a +3.5 all the way up to +9.5. I don't think there's a world where they lose by 10. I've got the Packers Bears. I also have the over 34.5 points. And then I've got Vikings Titans over 33.5 points, as you guys have heard the reasons. And then my final pick was Rams. I teased them to a +1.5. It feels, I don't see a world where the Rams lose that game, especially coming off the loss to the Dolphins. They need to get a win. They need to get back on track. So, yeah, that's what I've got. Those are my 6 picks. Chiefs +8, Broncos +4, Steelers +9.5, Packers Bears over 34.5, Vikings Titans over 33.5, and the Rams +1.5. And I think we've got another winner on our hands here.
Nice. I like that. I don't understand, dude. Like sometimes we're really good, and other times it's just like sometimes we're just step for step, and other times we're just complete opposite. We both are complete
What are you
opposite
talking
on
about?
just Ravens and
What are you talking
Steelers,
about?
dude. We're both on just the other side. It's
Okay.
like, yep,
Okay.
I like the
Sure.
Ravens, you like the Steelers, and it's just hey, throw them
And what happened last
in
week?
the picks. Hey, it doesn't matter. Let's not talk about last week, okay?
What happened last week?
Wait, what week is it? It's week 11. So let's talk about week 11. But
I'm sorry. Let's just. You've been fading the Steelers. You haven't wanted to bet the Steelers all season long.
the one week I wanted to push back on you, it didn't work. That's why I don't like the Steelers. You lost me money because my heart was no. Colts beat them. Like it goes over all this, and you're like, no,
One time.
no. And guess what?
One time.
It happened. Yeah, but that's all I
And
need.
all pick the Steelers. They've only lost twice.
I just don't like
all
the Steelers.
season.
I'm sorry, I just don't. Their record is not a reflection of how good their team is, and I think that that's what's going to happen on Sunday, and they're going to get exposed.
They are literally
You're
the
gonna lose your teaser. I can't. I actually am.
They're the
actually kind of excited for
2014
you to
Seattle
lose your
Seahawks.
teaser. You're gonna lose your teaser because of that leg right there. Everything else will hit.
Matt,
That leg.
we're collectively supposed to be beating the book. You're not supposed to be rooting for the book to beat me.
I'm not rooting for you to
that's not how
lose.
this
I'm
channel
just
works.
gonna be happy and celebrating when you do lose for that pick.
See, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. As a gambling community, we're all supposed to be helping each other beat the book. That's the whole goal.
We're all gonna win this week, even though we can't because we're both on the opposite side of this. But we're all gonna win.
No,
We're all
you
gonna
can
make
still
a lot
hit
of
because
money.
you have Ravens. You have Ravens +3.5. So Ravens can lose by 2 to the Steelers, and I still hit also with Steelers +9.5.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I see you. I see your point. All right, let's all win
Or
some
the
money.
Ravens can cover the -3. They can win by 3, and I still hit my 9.5. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they can win by a touchdown, and then we all still win money. Okay.
Right. So there you go. Bada bing, bada boom.
There we go. That'll happen. Ravens still win.
We're still in lockstep. We can still beat the book together.
Yeah, it won't happen. But
all right, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, comment. We always like interacting with you guys, and we're just really excited for this week 11 of games. It should be awesome. We're going to try to keep making more and more money. And Matt, you got anything else to say to the fine people?
Nope, just like you said, just stay tuned for the next videos. We got the primetime videos coming out. We do one every week. If you're new to the channel, we do one for every game of the week, rather. And then, yeah, we have this video, our Sunday slate. And yeah, we got shorts on the way. We got NBA on the way. Like, we got a lot of different things going on. So, yeah, if you don't mind, like, comment, like hearing from you guys. But other than that, we will catch you guys all in the next video. Protect the bag, beat the book, have fun, and let's enjoy some Sunday football.
Yeah, yeah.